Hey y'all, welcome back to B-Rad Garage. We're working on my papa's truck today, 1978 Chevy Squarebody. I call it the tan truck because I'm not very original when it comes to naming trucks. So today we're going to do a super budget interior refresh, seat cover, floor, that kind of stuff. So anyway, enough of me yapping. I really appreciate all the support. If y'all like the content, please consider subscribing. Now let me hush and let's see if we can't make this thing be rad again. Just a quick walk around. Little old straight six. I think it's a 235. I'd have to check. Runs great, even with the carb needing to rebuild. We've got a heck of a power steering fluid leak right here, but I think it's that top hose. But we'll dig into that another day. But like I said, it was my grandpa's truck, my papa's truck, and as such, he was getting a little older. We've got a few wing dings here. Ran down a piece of cattle panel. It's got this old topper on it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But yeah, mismatched tires and wheels, just the usual old pasture truck. On the interior here, one thing that's immediately apparent is you can see real close that door panel. Goodness gracious. Hangs like you wouldn't believe. But yeah, let's take a look in here. So we got water in here, we got holes in the floorboard, square body stuff. We got parts and everything in here like always. But we're going to do a little bit of something to the floor here. Need to probably just armor all or just kind of clean this up. And this seat is not in like the worst condition ever. It's really not. But I got one of those seat covers and I think it'll just kind of brighten it up a little bit, kind of make it look a little nicer. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're dealing with. Old square body cracked dash and holes in the floor and all that. But that's okay. I still love this old truck. All right, let's see what we can't get into, y'all. All right, y'all. So there's 4 9/16 bolts. 2 in the front you can see pretty easily. 2 in the back you have to slide the seat forward. It's kind of wonky right now because we actually already loosened them. But there's one back on this side, one on the other side, passenger and driver. They're encapsulated on the inside or the underside, but I'd recommend some penetrating oil or something like that because these suckers were in there. I cheated and snuck my impact back here and was able to get the back 2 out, but I had to use a breaker bar and everything else on the front too. And Andy's here is going to help me take the seat out. You can take these square body seats out by yourself. It's not a lot of fun. So see if we can't get that done real quick. All right, y'all, this ought to be interesting. Me trying to crawl through here with my old jacked up back and knees, but here we go. All right, like a glove. Oh, I'm definitely not squeezing through there. We'll just do this. There we go. Sunshine. You get it. Thank you, sir. That's as good a place as any. All right. What do we got under here? Treasures? Ugh. Pyroil starting fluid with upper cylinder lubrication. Oh, Pyroil. What the heck? Valvoline. Interesting. Dry as a bone. All right, y'all. We got her out. Now we can really see how bad this is. All right, y'all. We got her all vacuumed out. And like most of the time, it's worse than I thought it was. My dad and them had some house carpet glued in here. So I think that's part of the problem with this kind of stuff. This is just square body stuff, I think. Just chunks of rust everywhere, even after vacuuming. The driver's side's way worse. I know Dalton from Pole Barn Garage would get this fixed in 5 minutes with some tech screws and license plates. But I think we're going to do what I'm good at doing, and that is ignoring the problem. Like, y'all see this over here? It's not great. This truck's never going to be really on the road and just keeping it around, driving around town, throw the trash away, stuff like that. So I think we're going to throw some carpet in it and call it good. Oh man, this country come to town, as my old man used to say. So we had this old piece of, I think it's house carpet. It might be that indoor outdoor, I don't know. But this is more not about how to do this because I don't think we did it right, but it's just really to show y'all that y'all can do this kind of stuff. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Luckily, Andy's kind of helped point me in a couple of good directions, left to right and center forward. We cut a hole for the floor mounted dimmer. We came up here, cut like a relief cut right here, so this could tuck in. Now this is where we've spent a little bit of time. These are the front 2 bolts where it's going to actually bolt the seat in. So this actually I've kind of cut around. The bolt can go right through there. And we've got a relief cut right here. So we're going to have this screwed down here and here. Now, you get you some Tech screws. This is exactly how you want to do it. But if you forget your Tech screws like me, and you try to use sheet metal screws, they're not going to make their own hole because they're not Tech screws. So if you don't have Tech screws, use deck screws. Actually, y'all don't use deck screws. But this is working simply because these happen to have a drill tip on them. I don't know if I can focus on it and show y'all, but they do have a drill tip. It is working. This is ridiculous, but I can't see the rust anymore. See? So there's no more rust. We got the seat done. We're going to put the seat in after we screw this bad boy down. So let me continue to do this with the wrong tools and the wrong way, and we'll get back with y'all. Okay, team, this is the definition of a 20-footer. We don't know how relief cuts work or how to make things fit the right way. If you look in here, luckily this carpet confuses you. It's like one of those books you looked at when you were a kid that had like the hidden image. But if you look up here, we cut it straight down and then at an angle, because again, I don't know how the relief cuts work. And we weren't going straight because we lost our angle and we started going down over here. So if you look right there, we took our scrap piece and shoved it up in there. But for a pasture truck and you were staring at rust, I think it helped a lot. And I think Andy's right. When we put the seat in here, all will be forgiven, you know. So let's get this seat jammed back in here and let's take a look at this, y'all. So this seat's really not in bad shape, but it was a little crusty, moldy on here. So we've had about, I don't know, 5 minutes of the dollar store LA's Totally Awesome upholstery going. And then we'll see out here in the wind, we'll see what it does. Oh, heck yeah. I'd say that's a big difference, wouldn't y'all? Okay, over here is a little crustier, but that's coming right off. All right. Well, we'll keep cleaning this up, and then I think we're gonna try to figure out what this seat cover is all about. Okay, turns out the back was worse than the front, which makes sense. Let's just do we'll do no prep. Y'all just have to trust me, this has not been prepped. We'll give it about, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000. See what it does. I'll be dang. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Dude, I mean, I know this isn't like ground in, but that mold's pretty gross. And it's just knocking it right off. Heck yeah. I'm not gonna make y'all sit through me cleaning the whole thing, but that's a pretty good difference. We'll do the bottom down here as well. Get it kind of cleaned up. That way we're not putting a clean cover over a dirty bench. All right, y'all. So we just got one of these little saddle blanket covers. This was 50 bucks, I think, on Amazon. It has a bunch of rope string with it and a bunch of loop-de-loos on it. So doesn't look like there's any hog rings or anything like that to deal with, but I'm far from a Boy Scout, so who knows about tying the right knots and everything. But I got Andy here to help me, and he's a lot smarter than I am, so we should be able to get this on there some way. Now, I know the seat's not in bad shape. We're just kind of trying to protect what we got and just have it look a little different. But we'll put this kind of on here loose, and then once we actually figure out what we're doing, we'll start filming that. All right, y'all. So it doesn't look like much right now, but what we've done here, you have loops on the front, at least with this one. We're just gonna tie the cords. Loops all on the front, loops on the side, and then we tucked through the middle here around to the back. And so you'll see you have like a loop on the bottom, and then when you come to the top, you've got one the same length apart. So I think it's gonna really require some stretching and maybe me Googling a knot or two on how to get this done. But we get one of them done, I'll kind of show you, and then we'll just zing zang through the process. That way y'all don't have to sit and watch it all. All right, y'all, so we have already called an audible. So I believe the instructions call for the top to go to these loops that come out of the middle. Can't get one right now. it's there, I promise. But then also they want the front ones to come around to the middle. And I thought that was a lot to ask of the one loop just in the center. So we've kind of changed and we've tied it around the intersection, because this is basically like hog wire. I mean, this is really, really pretty darn thick. So we went along those, and I guess I'll try to show y'all. This is about the only knot I know. My dad called it a hay hauler's knot, but it's a way for you to have a loop here, and then when you can pull down and create some tension. So what we did was pulled it basically to the top, and we have just a simple knot right here if we need to redo it, because we've never done this before and we're just shooting from the hip. So that's where we're at right now. When we get the front started, I'll touch base with y'all again. All right, y'all. So now we've stood the seat up on its end. We don't know what we're doing, but we've decided that we'll do the passenger side and the driver's side edges first. So we've gone underneath the seat. I tried to get like behind the springs and the catches and all that, but this seat's not gonna move a lot. And I gotta say, y'all, I really think this is a two-person job, because Andy's having to kind of jab and keep stuff in line while I'm tying it. The back was fine, but you know, I'm sure you could do it, but it's not a lot of fun. So we'll keep on making these little loops and we'll show y'all when she's done. All right, y'all, we're making up our own rules again. We were looking at the corner, where are we going to tie to? This slides, etc. Do we go like right here? Do we go? So we decided, and I don't know if this is right or not, but we're going to try it. We tied a regular knot here and a regular knot here, and we're going to meet in the middle, neath that old Georgia pine, you know? And we're going to see what that does. If it doesn't work, I'll let you know. All right, y'all. I mean, this is definitely a two-person job in my mind. And you can tell we kind of got a straight line here, here, and here. It gets a little crooked over here, but we were really trying to make it fit across this seat. It said it fit these full-size seats. I don't doubt that, but it was quite a bit of tugging to really get it kind of straight across there. But this thing's kind of neat. It's got like pockets in here in the front, which is kind of cool because there's no storage in that truck. And then we'll got to figure out if we can kind of get those right at the right angle for the seat belts. But this thing turned out okay. I got to say, though, again, reiterate, I think it's a two-person job. We did get shorted one, what do you call these? String. We did get shorted one of those. But, as usual, just slap a zip tie on it. So what we did was we picked the one that was going to have the least amount of tension. This top and bottom were holding a lot of weight. This is not really. So that's the one we picked there. And our game time decision here was to connect the two in the center. I think the instructions were very weird, but I think they wanted you to tie them somewhere different or to another loop. But I just felt like making one loop responsible for more than one string was probably not a good idea. So we're gonna shove this bad boy back in there and see how this all looks. All right, y'all, show you the worst side first. Hindsight being 2020, maybe we saved our scrap pieces for this entryway into the door that you can see glue and everything. But it was also pretty not cool up here with all the rust and everything. Really, kind of like Andy was saying, just kind of keep the dust and everything down, you know? But I gotta say, y'all, like, for a $50 seat cover, man, camera's not getting everything. Here we go. For a $50 seat cover and some random scrap carpet, which I'm sure a lot of y'all could come across. And I mean, they sell carpet kits for these, which are very reasonable. I was just trying to go as cheap as possible. And if you had tech screws, it'd be better. But if you got weird little deck screws, you can use those too, apparently. But we're gonna run the seat belts through it and everything, get those positioned the right way and all that. But I think for 50 bucks and a little bit of work, the old rascal's looking pretty good. I think it's a lot closer to being red than it was when we started today. As long as you're making progress, that's really all you can shoot for, you know? Progress is good. Well, y'all, it may not look great, but it definitely looks better. And for 50 bucks and a little bit of sweat and dirt on your hands, I think it turned out a lot better. A lot of y'all could do a lot better than this, I'm sure. But it's like I always tell y'all, I'm doing this stuff to show y'all can do this stuff. None of this is out of your reach. You know, watch some videos, take some time, just do the best you can with what you have, you know. If it's better than you started with it, then you did it, right? Progress is what you want, man. So anyway, I'm gonna hush. I think this old truck's a lot closer to being rad. Never gonna be probably a highway rig for me, but We took it around the little block a couple times. A lot of fun just to drive my grandpa's truck and everything. So really appreciate y'all. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. Thanks for everything y'all do. Y'all get out there and make it be rad, everybody.